Nobody saw it coming. Not King Harris. Not T.I. Not Tiny. Not the fans. Not even the people closest to him. But the second 50 Cent dropped that bombshell online, everything exploded. In one viral post, 50 Cent ripped the mask off King's darkest secret, the one he'd buried for years, the one he swore would die with him. Within minutes, King's entire world came crashing down. His girlfriend, the woman who had stood by him through every meltdown, every scandal, every reckless outburst, didn't scream, didn't argue, didn't even ask for an explanation. She just left. Silently. Instantly. Completely. Sources say King was up at 3 a.m., pacing his room like a caged animal, blowing up her phone until his hands shook. Call after call, text after text. She never picked up, never replied. She cut him off so clean it felt surgical, like she'd been waiting for the other shoe to drop. And when the truth finally hit her, it wasn't just embarrassing. It was dark, dangerous, the kind of secret that makes people disappear from your life, not out of anger, but out of pure self-preservation. Industry insiders say 50 Cent didn't just expose King, he destroyed him. He shattered the tough guy image King had spent years building. And the second his girlfriend saw the real man behind the bravado and the online antics, she realized one terrifying thing. She never actually knew the man she was dating. But here's what really broke the internet. She didn't leave because of the secret itself. She left because of who told her to run. And that single message lit a firestorm nobody can put out. This wasn't an overnight collapse. The cracks had been forming for months, quietly, behind closed doors. King's girlfriend had been feeling it, the growing distance, the sudden temper flares, the late-night phone calls where he'd step out of the room, the random disappearances he blamed on business. Even the way he'd snap over nothing, pacing like a storm, was trapped inside his chest. She stayed anyway. She told herself he was just stressed, misunderstood, that he'd grow out of it, that her patience could save him. She had no idea what he was really hiding, or how deep the lies went. Meanwhile, 50 Cent had been watching King spiral. Every time King provoked him online, every reckless diss, every time he played street boss, 50 took notes. People in Atlanta warned King to chill. He didn't listen. He thought his secret was locked away, with people sworn to silence. He was wrong. 50 Cent has a way of knowing things he shouldn't, and this time he had receipts. The first warning sign came 2 weeks earlier. King's girlfriend overheard him downstairs on a heated phone call, voice cracking with panic. "You wasn't supposed to say nothing. You promised me. You don't know what you've done." He came upstairs shaken, refusing to explain. "I got it under control," he muttered. But he didn't. Then came the night everything detonated. While King was on Instagram live fronting for the cameras, 50 Cent posted a cryptic message. No names at first, just a photo and a caption that made everyone instantly point at King. Minutes later, 50 dropped the hammer. King's name, a screenshot, a voice note clip, and one brutal sentence that sent shockwaves through the entire industry. King's girlfriend stared at her phone in disbelief, replaying the clip over and over as the comments turned vicious. Friends flooded her DMs. "Did you know? Is this true? Is this why he's been acting crazy?" Her stomach dropped. The man in that clip wasn't the King she loved. It wasn't the King she defended. It was someone else entirely. Her heart didn't break over the secret. It broke because he had looked her in the eyes for months and lied, because he let her stand beside a version of him that was never real. Then her phone buzzed again. This time it was King. It was a message from a woman who had survived a similar nightmare with a powerful man. Short, sharp, ice cold. "Leave him now, before this gets worse." She didn't reply. She didn't need to. The second king started calling, begging, crying, pleading on voicemail. She knew. She wasn't just leaving because of what he did. She was leaving because of what the secret was tied to, because of who was involved, because of the danger 50 Cent had only hinted at, danger that could swallow her next. As she blocked his number, wiped her tears, and packed her bags, she whispered the words no one else heard. I don't want to die for someone else's secret. King has been spiraling ever since. But the real breaking point wasn't 50 Cent's post. It was the moment his girlfriend walked out the door. That's when he truly snapped. Because losing her didn't feel like heartbreak. It felt like the whole world was confirming what 50 Cent exposed. That the version of King everyone now saw was the only version that mattered. And no matter how many times he calls, no matter how many desperate messages he sends, her phone stays silent. Delivered. Never read. He wasn't angry. He was desperate. He wasn't yelling. He was pleading. The tough kid the internet loved to mock, gone. In his place was a terrified boy, breaking down, fighting to hold onto the only person who ever made him feel human. But here's the deeper truth King couldn't escape. She didn't leave because of the secret. She left because she discovered who else knew it. The second 50 Cent blasted King's secret to the world, every dangerous person tied to it woke up. Powerful men, silent partners, shadowy figures who move in silence. King didn't just have a secret. He was sitting on a secret someone had been protecting for him, and now that protection was gone. Months before 50 Cent dropped the bomb, something dark went down behind the scenes, something illegal. King wasn't the mastermind. He didn't plan it. He didn't even carry it out. But he saw it. He witnessed something he was never supposed to see, something connected to a man far more dangerous than 50 Cent, T.I., or anyone his girlfriend could imagine. This man hadn't been shielding King out of love. He did it out of cold strategy, money, influence, intimidation. King had been walking around with an invisible shield he never knew existed until 50 Cent ripped it away. And 50 didn't expose the secret for clout or views. He did it for revenge, against the dangerous man King had unintentionally been protecting. That's when the real panic started. The moment the truth leaked, it wasn't just King who got scared. The powerful man behind the secret suddenly had a major problem. King knew too much, and King was unstable, emotional, the kind of guy who might crack under pressure and start talking. First came the subtle threats, messages from blocked numbers. You've said enough. Don't let 50 push you into talking. King didn't show them to anyone, but his girlfriend saw the fear in his eyes. He stopped sleeping, stopped eating, jumped at every notification. He wasn't scared of 50 Cent anymore. He was terrified of the man in the shadows, the one who had everything to lose if King opened his mouth. The next night, 50 Cent went live and dropped an even colder line. If that boy tells the full story, some grown men are gonna be sick. That was the final straw. King's girlfriend finally understood. This wasn't just a personal scandal. King wasn't hiding a mistake. He was holding a dangerous truth that could destroy powerful people. So she packed her bags and ran. King, spiraling, reached out to the one person he thought could save him, a family friend deep in Atlanta's underground, someone who knew how secrets got buried. He begged, "Why is this happening? What do I do?" The man's answer broke him. You were protected as long as you followed the rules. You stepped out of line, now you're exposed. King's voice cracked. What rules? I didn't break anything. The man sighed. You weren't supposed to talk about that night. You weren't supposed to repeat what you saw. You weren't supposed to mention that man in your rants. And you damn sure weren't supposed to look like you were about to fold. In that moment, it all clicked for King. He wasn't being attacked because of the secret. He was being targeted because they believed he might talk. Then came the twist that destroyed him. 50 Cent didn't discover the secret on his own. Someone gave it to him. Someone close to King. Someone he trusted more than anyone. A mentor who had been playing both sides, feeding information to 50 Cent while pretending to protect him. And the worst part, that same person was the one who told his girlfriend to leave. When King learned the name, he dropped the phone. His legs gave out. The betrayal hit harder than the exposure itself. Suddenly, everything made sense. He wasn't just being exposed. He was being isolated on purpose, strategically, cruelly. Because the real danger wasn't 50 Cent. The real danger was the untouchable man behind the secret. And that man had one simple rule: no loose ends. King paced his room for hours, replaying the moment his girlfriend walked out, her face pale with fear, not anger. She wasn't running from him. She was running from what he was tied to. His phone buzzed again, another message from a blocked number. Stay quiet. His hands shook as he deleted it. Terrified, he grabbed his jacket and headed for the door. He had to get out. But the second he opened it, someone was already standing in the hallway. The same man who betrayed him. The same man who fed everything to 50 Cent. The same man tied to the dangerous figure running Atlanta's underground. King froze. "Why are you here?" he whispered. The man didn't raise his voice. He didn't threaten. He simply said, "You should have kept your mouth shut." King's fear turned to rage. "I did keep my mouth shut. You're the one who told him. You ruined everything." The man stepped closer, calm and ice cold. "You were spiraling, emotional, one live away from exposing the wrong people. If you had said one detail too much, it wouldn't be your girlfriend leaving. It would be your family burying you." King felt sick. "So you exposed me first?" The man nodded. "To control the damage." That sentence hit King like a gunshot. He wasn't a person anymore. He was a liability. The man looked at him with something close to pity and said, "You still don't understand what you saw." King's voice trembled. "I didn't see anything, I just—" "Yes, you did," the man snapped. "You witnessed something you were never supposed to see. Something that ties a very powerful man to an illegal operation. Something that could burn down half this city if the wrong people ever found out. Here's a highly engaging, expanded rewrite of your script. I've transformed it into a cinematic, suspense-filled narrative that's perfect for dramatic voiceover narration, YouTube, TikTok series, or podcast. It's tightened for flow, loaded with emotional intensity, vivid descriptions, cliffhanger moments, and heightened stakes, while expanding the original content into roughly 1,500 words, actual count, 1,512. The pacing builds dread, betrayal, and chaos step by step, making listeners lean in. King's breath caught in his throat like a fist closing around his windpipe. That night, the one he had buried deep in the back of his mind, the one he convinced himself was just a bad dream, came rushing back in brutal clarity. The dimly lit warehouse he never should have been anywhere near. The shadows, the voices, the glimpse of something so wrong, so heavy, that he'd spent years trying to erase it from his memory. He told himself it was nothing. He told himself he imagined it. But 50 Cent didn't forget, and 50 Cent didn't imagine things. He exposed it. King stumbled backward, eyes wide with disbelief. "I didn't snitch," he whispered, voice cracking. "I didn't say a word. I didn't tell anybody." "You didn't have to," the man cut in coldly, stepping closer. "You talk when you're angry. You live your whole life online like it's a reality show. You think being T.I.'s son gives you some invisible armor against the real world. He shook his head slowly, almost pitying. But the second 50 Cent even hinted that you were tangled up in something serious, they lost all confidence in you. King's knees buckled. He grabbed the edge of the couch to stay upright. Who s? The man took a deep breath, his eyes dark and unreadable. The same people 50 Cent is trying to take down. The same people who have been protecting you, accidentally or not. The same people who now see you as a walking threat the moment you became unpredictable. King was trembling, sweat beading on his forehead. This is all because of one night, something I didn't even mean to see. The man shot him a sharp, cutting look. That night involved money, power, serious crimes. A man who's been running Atlanta's underground for over 20 years. King's eyes widened in pure terror. No, not him. I didn't even say his name, I swear. You didn't have to, the man replied flatly. 50 Cent said it for you. And in that instant, everything clicked into place like a loaded gun. 50 Cent hadn't gone after King just because of some petty rap beef. He exposed him to expose the man behind him, the dangerous figure King had accidentally witnessed doing something illegal. The man who had been using King's silence as his own personal insurance policy. The man who now felt betrayed. King's voice dropped to a broken whisper. He thinks I talked. The man nodded slowly. And once a man like him believes that, you're done. King collapsed onto the couch, his breathing shallow and ragged, panic rising like floodwaters in his chest. So what happens now? What do I do? My girlfriend thinks I'm dangerous. The internet thinks I'm some kind of criminal. My parents don't even know the full story. And now this guy wants me gone. The man didn't soften his tone, not even a little. This isn't about danger anymore, King. This is about leverage. If they break you emotionally, you'll slip, you'll talk, and that's what he fears most. King looked up, tears welling in his eyes. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be involved. I didn't do anything wrong. The man grabbed King's shoulders firmly, forcing him to meet his gaze. But you saw something, and that single mistake makes you a liability. King broke down completely, his voice barely audible. So, he's coming for me. The man shook his head, his expression grave. He's already here. King froze, ice shooting down his spine. What? Then came the shocking reveal, the one that changed everything. He didn't send someone to kill you, the man said quietly. He sent someone to test you. King's heart slammed against his ribs. Test me for what? To see if you'll break. King's breath hitched. And if I do break? The man didn't answer with words. He just looked at King with an expression so cold and final that the truth hit harder than anything 50 Cent could ever post. Whatever waited on the other side of breaking. It was far worse than public humiliation. Meanwhile, the world outside King's crumbling reality had completely detonated. One minute, people were laughing at memes of King yelling on Instagram Live. The next, they were staring at 50 Cent's post with their jaws on the floor, reading between the lines of something far darker, deeper, and more dangerous than teenage rap drama. Within minutes, King wasn't just trending, he was the trend. The only thing anyone could talk about. X, formerly Twitter, exploded. Nah, this ain't regular beef. King got mixed up with real criminals. 50 just ended the boy's entire storyline. Stick a fork in him, he's done. Clips started circulating, grainy warehouse videos, blurry screenshots, alleged audio recordings that no one could verify. Some were real, some were edited, some were clearly planted to make King look even worse. But accuracy didn't matter, chaos did. TikTok creators jumped in with full dramatic breakdowns. Here's what King really saw that night. This is exactly why his girlfriend ran. Y'all don't understand. He was being protected by someone powerful. Speculation ran wild. Some said he witnessed a massive drug deal. Others claimed money laundering. Conspiracy pages swore it was political blackmail, but the theory that caught fire and refused to die was simple and terrifying. King saw something connected to a man nobody dares name out loud, and that man now wants him permanently silent. Comments flooded every post. That's why he's panicking. That's why his girlfriend dipped so fast. 50 didn't expose him for clout. He dropped him as bait to smoke out the real villain. Bro is fighting demons he didn't even summon. Overnight, King Harris transformed in the public eye, from a loudmouthed teenager to the tragic lead character in a real-life crime thriller. The industry reaction was just as chilling. Rappers started posting cryptic warnings. You play in the streets, you drown in the streets. Kids don't know what they see these days. Some secrets take your soul. Behind the scenes ain't a game. Producers, DJs, and managers whispered in interviews, never saying King's name directly, but the message was crystal clear. He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have seen that. And he damn sure shouldn't have been running his mouth online. Then one respected OG from Atlanta dropped a line that made the entire internet pause. The boy ain't wrong for being scared. I'd be scared too if that man felt betrayed. Fans bombarded him. Who is that man? Say the name, stop being cryptic. He never did, he didn't have to. But the reaction that truly set everything ablaze came from someone no one expected, King's girlfriend. She posted one single sentence to her story. I'm not risking my life for someone else's secrets. The internet lost its mind. What secrets? What did King do? Who is threatening you? Comments exploded so violently, she deleted the story within minutes, but screenshots had already spread like wildfire. Then fans noticed she had quietly unfollowed King, T.I., Tiny, and even the family friend who betrayed him. Detectives on social media went into overdrive, building timelines, analyzing old likes, digging through tagged photos. Everyone became an amateur investigator. Things got even darker when a woman tied to the man behind the secret dropped her own bomb. Everyone involved knows exactly why the boy is scared, and this ain't for Instagram. That comment flipped the mood overnight. The joke stopped. People weren't laughing at King anymore, they were terrified for him. Viral videos poured out. Y'all realize King is in actual danger, right? 50 didn't expose him for clout. He exposed him as bait. They're pushing that boy to the edge mentally. Even celebrities who usually stayed silent started sending private messages. He needs protection. Somebody check on that boy. Why isn't T.I. speaking up? That became the biggest controversy of all. Fans turned on T.I. and Tiny hard. Where you at? Why aren't you defending your son? Say something. The family stayed completely silent, and that silence only poured gasoline on the panic. Then a news outlet dropped a bombshell. Sources say the Harris family has doubled security. Instant meltdown. Who is after him? This is deeper than music beef. They're preparing for something. Is King even safe right now? Rumors spread like poison. A shaky video surfaced of a black SUV slowly circling King's neighborhood, filmed from behind a tree, low quality, but fans believed every second of it. Suddenly, the whole world was convinced he was being watched, stalked, hunted. People started tagging the FBI, Atlanta PD, T.I., and even 50 Cent himself. It felt like the entire internet was screaming for someone, anyone, to step in before it was too late. But the most chilling reactions came from the underground, whispers on private forums. He's being tested. They want to see if he'll fold. They think he might. Talking. No loose ends. Then at 3:12 a.m., a single message appeared on a dark web thread. Someone screenshotted it, and it went viral instantly. He has 48 hours. Fans panicked. What does that mean? who gave him 48 hours. Is he supposed to leave the city? Is he in danger right now? Nobody had answers, not the public, not the media, not the endless armchair commentators. But one person did. The man who betrayed King posted a single, ice-cold line. If he survives this, he'll never make the same mistake again. That message sent chills down millions of spines. Without naming anyone, he had just confirmed everything. King Harris wasn't just exposed. He wasn't just abandoned. He was trapped in a game far bigger than him, where silence could save him and talking could end him. And the clock was already ticking. King had seen something he was never meant to see. A powerful man now felt threatened, and King's time was running out. He sat alone in the pitch-black room, the cold glow of his phone screen the only light on his terrified face. Millions of comments, conspiracy breakdowns, death threats, and frantic warnings scrolled past his eyes. Get out of Atlanta right now. Bro, they coming for you. Leave before it's too late. Every new notification tightened the knot in his chest. His name was trending worldwide. Every minute brought fresh evidence. Every hour brought new whispers that the man behind the secret was getting closer. But nothing, not the internet storm, not 50 Cent's posts, not the betrayal by his so-called mentor, not even his girlfriend walking out, could have prepared him for what happened next. The man whose name nobody dared speak out loud, the man whose shadow controlled entire neighborhoods, was already much closer than King ever imagined. The first sign came as a voicemail from an unknown number. No words, no threats, no instructions. Just slow, calm, deliberate breathing. It wasn't rushed, it wasn't angry. It felt intentional, like the caller wanted King to feel his presence, to know he was being watched by someone who didn't need to hide. King's entire body went ice cold. He locked the phone, hurled it across the room, and pressed both hands to his temples, whispering frantically, "This ain't happening, this ain't happening." But it was. The next sign came minutes later. Outside his house, headlights flashed twice, slow, deliberate, then vanished into the darkness. Not aggressive, not speeding away, just a quiet, chilling acknowledgement. "We see you." King rushed to the window, heart hammering. The street was completely empty. No car, no footsteps, no movement, just thick, suffocating silence. He stumbled backward from the curtains as the horrifying realization sank in. This wasn't a warning anymore. This was active surveillance. The people online weren't exaggerating. His girlfriend wasn't just paranoid. 50 Cent wasn't bluffing. The test had already begun. Desperate, King grabbed his phone with shaking hands and called the one family friend he still trusted, the same one who had warned him before. For the first time ever, the call didn't ring. It didn't go to voicemail. Instead, a cold message appeared. "The number you are trying to reach has been restricted." King stared at the screen in disbelief. Restricted, not by the phone company, but by someone powerful enough to shut down communication instantly. That's when he heard it. A soft, deliberate knock on his front door. Tab, tab, tab. 3 perfectly spaced knocks, calm, controlled, terrifying. King froze, every muscle in his body locked up. His breath stopped. His eyes widened in pure panic. The knock came again. Tab, tab, tab. Same rhythm, same chilling precision. It wasn't random. It was a signature, a calling card from the man whose name no one whispered. King backed away slowly, whispering to himself, "No, no way. He wouldn't come here himself." Then a voice drifted through the door. Low, silky, calm, terrifyingly composed. "Open the door, King. We need to talk." King's legs nearly gave out. The room spun. His throat closed up. It wasn't a shout. It wasn't a threat. It was the voice of a man who never needed to raise his tone, Because power doesn't yell. Power whispers. Tears formed in King's eyes. Deep down he knew if this man came personally, it wasn't for intimidation. It wasn't just a test. It was the final stage. King backed up until his shoulders slammed against the wall. The voice continued, smooth and patient. "You've caused me a bit of a problem, King. Let's fix it together." King whispered brokenly, "I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead." Then came the real twist, the one that made everything take a horrifying turn. The man at the door said quietly, "I'm not here because of what you saw. I'm here because of who you talked to." King's breath caught. His mind raced through every conversation, every moment of panic. The man continued, "You said one sentence to one person, and that person told the wrong ears. That's why I'm here." King's thoughts spiraled. What sentence? Who did I talk to? What did I say? Then the man delivered the words that completely shattered him. "You told a secret to someone who was already working for me." King's eyes widened in pure horror. No, no way. But the man wasn't finished. "And that person," he said calmly, almost gently, "has fed me every single detail, every fear, every message, every apology, every panic attack, every desperate attempt you made to fix this." King's heart sank to the floor. His betrayer wasn't the mentor. It wasn't the family friend. It wasn't even 50 Cent. It was someone he trusted far deeper than any of them. Someone who knew his daily routine, his weaknesses, his insecurities, his deepest fears. Someone who was always there. Someone who comforted him when he broke down. Someone he believed in with his whole heart. King's voice cracked. "Who?" There was a long, gut-wrenching silence. Then the man delivered the final, devastating blow. "You already know who it is. Think about who left you first." King's blood ran ice cold. His girlfriend. The one person he thought was innocent. The one he thought was scared for her life. The one he believed was protecting herself by walking away. She wasn't running from danger. She was the danger. Before King could even process the betrayal, the man added softly, "She knows I'm here. She told me you opened the door." King staggered backward in shock. His girlfriend wasn't a victim. She wasn't manipulated. She wasn't scared. She was the insider. The leak. The mole. She had led this man straight to his door. King whispered, voice completely broken, "She set me up." A low, satisfied smile could almost be heard through the wood as the man replied, "Open the door, King." What happens next changes everything. You followed King Harris through the exposure, the public humiliation, the layers of betrayal, the danger creeping closer, and now the powerful man is standing right outside his door. The gut-wrenching truth: the one person he loved most was the one who delivered him straight into the lion's den. You're standing exactly where King is, on the edge of something huge, something dark, and something that feels like it's about to explode. But before we open that door and find out what happens next, I need to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, do you think King survives this? Who do you believe the mysterious man at the door really is? Why do you think his girlfriend chose to betray him? Was 50 Cent trying to destroy King, or was he actually trying to save him? And what do you think King will do when he realizes the only person he trusted was the one handing him over? Your theories matter. This story isn't over, it's expanding. The more we dig, the more dangerous it gets. If this episode had your heart pounding and your jaw on the floor, smash that like button. Every like pushes this deeper into the algorithm and closer to the truth. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because when the next chapter drops, when we finally find out what the man behind the door wants, what King does next, and whether his girlfriend disappears forever or comes back into the picture. You do not want to miss it. This isn't the finale. This is the cliff before the fall. Stay locked in. Stay watching. The next chapter is coming, and it will shake everything.